6 brushes went through the exact same brutal test, and only 3 of them passed for a reason that has nothing to do with how clean the grates looked. Every brush got scrubbed 100 times under heavy pressure to see what would break loose first, and what came off some of those heads was small, sharp, and metallic. 2 brands market themselves as the safer choice, yet one still shed metal after only a few weeks of use. Price barely mattered. A cheap brush and an expensive one landed on the same side of this list more than once. Here is exactly which 5 brands need to leave the shelf, and which 3 actually deserve a spot in the garage. Let's start with the ones you should throw out tonight. Traditional wire bristle brushes sit at the top of the danger list, and it doesn't matter how big or trusted the name on the handle is. These brushes use loose steel wires packed into a head, and under heat and pressure, individual strands snap off and stay behind on the grate. You cook your food right on top of them. Surgeons have pulled these wires out of throats, stomachs, and intestines, and the scary part is, the injury doesn't always show up right away. A brush can pass 100 scrub tests and still lose a single wire on the 101st, and that's the one that ends up on a plate. The second category is sneakier, because it doesn't look like a wire brush at all. Some brands weave thin metal strands into a fabric or wrap them around a sponge, then market the whole thing as bristle-free. Technically true, practically misleading. After a few weeks of normal use, those woven strands start working themselves loose from the fabric, curling outward just enough to catch a finger, or catch nothing, and end up on the grate instead. One company was asked directly what its special mesh was actually made of. The answer that came back just repeated the product's own name, with no material breakdown at all. When a brand can't explain what's inside its own safety claim, that silence tells you everything. Now here's where it gets interesting, because the safe label and the safe reality don't always match. A stainless steel coil brush looks aggressive, almost like a wire brush's cousin, but the coils are fused as a single continuous piece rather than loose individual strands. Nothing snaps off during testing, even after 100 aggressive passes and multiple drops. It takes more elbow grease to get the same clean, but nothing ends up on the plate that shouldn't be there. A dense nylon bristle brush is the second genuinely safe option. No metal anywhere in the head, which means 0 risk of ingestion. Full stop. The trade-off is real. Nylon can't dig into heavily baked-on grime the way metal can, so it works best as a maintenance tool on a grill that's already reasonably clean, not a rescue tool for a grate that's been neglected for months. The third safe option uses a heat-resistant woven fabric wrapped tightly around a sponge core, the same category of material used in protective gear built to survive extreme heat. No wires, no strands, nothing to shed. It held up through drop tests with 0 damage and stayed structurally intact after aggressive scrubbing that left other brushes falling apart. The one drawback is reach. Dense fabric heads don't wedge as easily into narrow gaps between grates, so a separate scraper attachment becomes useful for the tight spots. So the pattern across all 6 brushes comes down to one simple test you can run yourself before ever buying one. Ask what the cleaning surface is actually made of, and ask what happens to that material under repeated stress. If a brand can answer clearly, the product usually backs it up. If the answer is vague, evasive, or just repeats the brand name back at you, that's not marketing spin. That's the product telling on itself before it ever touches your grill.